Welcome to the Armchair GM Podcast. Sure do love being a Flames fan. One day they're up, one day they're down. We call that the mushy middle. Some call it. Anyways, it's just frustrating. Welcome. You are watching the Armchair GM Podcast.
Well, you're not wrong, Chris. The last few games have kind of been one up, one down. You know, we had that we had the huge debacle in Nashville at the beginning of the month, and then since then it's been win, loss, or win, loss, win, loss, win. And the Flames are, as a result, not at the very bottom of the standings, but still pretty close. I don't think we have any team rebuild has any anything to worry about. Honestly, I think this team is not very good. Unfortunately, it would be fun if it was good, but it's not, and that makes the choice clear, in my opinion. Especially when Andersson gets traded, which he will. He's the only one I'm sold is going to get traded. But once he's traded, with the hot run he's been going on this year, he's been the best player on the team, and it's not particularly close. But
yeah,
I just don't think I think without Andersson, especially, this team is just going to kind of implode.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? He's had a struggle in the last couple of years, which we've talked about many times. Both of us being big Andersson fans, it's been tough leading up to this, and now that there's potential, or at least it appears that there's potential that he's going to be shipped out of here. All of a sudden, he's turned his game around and life is good. And I call that just being a team player. He's just upping his stock for the Flames because he just loves the organization that much, and he wants to do as much as he can before he exits. Whatever the reason is, I'm okay with it because it sure as fuck is upping his stock, and it's fantastic.
It's also
but you're
fun
right.
to watch.
It absolutely, him
Fun to watch.
him playing well is fun to watch for sure. Like he's a very good player. He's always been a good player. He had a couple of years where that was painful, right? Because he was certainly not playing like the Andersson that he was progressing to be. If you remember, when he first came in the league, he was pretty good, and he just got progressively better every year, right? And then he got to that point, got hit by that car in Detroit, and then just kind of steadily declined, drastically, I guess, really over a 2.5 year stint. But no, he's been a lot of fun to watch this year. He's engaged. He looks like he's even having fun again, which is cool.
He's shooting the puck lots, and it's going in. And when it's not going in, it's going to somebody who puts it in quite often. He's solidified himself, I suppose, as the best power play quarterback we have right now, which isn't saying much, but it seems to be working for him. He's the only one consistently doing anything on the power play. So that's fun to watch. It's really good because I like the player, and you and I always cheer for the crest on the front. And if the crest on the front is getting a good return because this guy's playing well, and then he goes elsewhere and plays well, it'll be fun to watch in the playoffs. Andersson at his peak in the playoffs, I mean, he's got a little bit of grit. He's got a lot of bite, which I think are two different things. And he chirps. He gets involved in everything. and he's high event hockey is what he is, right? Because he's pinching all the time. He's always behind the opposing net. He's always blocking shots on our end. He's getting back quickly. I'm really excited to see what kind of return we get for him. If we were in a competitive cycle, I would not be upset if we re-signed him. It just
Right.
doesn't fit with us right now. If we were a consistent playoff team, I'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, keep him. Right?
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, you're right. He is he's a quarterback on a power play. I mean, whopping 13% that the Flames are. So obviously, take it with a grain of salt. But I mean, he's clearly been the best defender we've had so far in the 25-26 season for sure.
Yeah. I think that's in part because, Perek got hurt. Not that Perek was going to play a whole bunch of 5-on-5 minutes, but he was starting to look good on the power play. Got hurt, and then Andersson took that job full time. And because Uyghur's just been not very good this year, and honestly, I think he played a lot better since he got united with Yan Kuznetsov, who's actually played very well. I think the advanced analytic nerds will tell you, as our buddy Kent Wilson will tell you all day long, that his analytics are terrible and that Kuznetsov's analytics have not been good as well.
Right.
But it's just,
I mean, he passes the eye test for sure.
flying colors.
Visually, he's playing very well. He's defending very well. He's not an offensive defenseman. We know that already, but he is not a liability in any capacity when he's on the ice.
And he's stabilized Uyghur, which is great to see, that a young 23, I think, year old kid has stabilized Uyghur, because Uyghur was our best defenseman for 2.5 years. And now he's not doing so well, but this kid has come up and helped him, which has been good.
Yeah, I agree. It's nice having, Uyghur's been hitting more. He seems more engaged, even though it's not really going his way all the time. But having a tandem that can. What's that? Sorry.
I don't think he wasn't engaged. I think he was
just struggling.
He was trying to get noticed by Team Canada. He kept pinching when he shouldn't have. He kept stepping up on players to try and steal the puck instead of staying in position in between the player and the net. He's still doing it sometimes, but he's not doing it nearly as much as he was.
Yeah, he's just, you're right. He spent most of the first half of the season doing the things that did not make him a great defender, right? Like, he was really good at defense and had reasonable offensive numbers, on the line, because he has a good shot, and he was good at, sidestepping and getting the shot through and to the net. It wasn't the pinching, it wasn't the flash and pizzazz. It was just back to basic defense with him, and he needs to get back to that, and he's coming around to it again, which is good. Yeah, sorry. When I say not engaged or not engaged, it's not necessarily like I didn't think he was, not motivated, not, that sort of thing. It's just a different attitude, I think, that you see from him now, opposed to October and most of November. But it's starting, right? It's not quite there yet, but it's coming. And it is interesting, as you say, that it takes a rookie to get him there, right?
Which says a lot about Kuznetsov. I know a lot of people, and don't get me wrong, I think the first couple weeks they were together, they were really good, and it has gone downhill a little bit, but I don't think it's nearly as bad as the analytics would tell you. We're not really analytics people anyways. We're more eye test people. And I think that a big thing that proves that is that the team is winning games, whereas they weren't before, right? And a big part of that is, Coronado's playing, like, a lot of guys are playing better. Coronado's had a rough couple games, even though he scored last game. But for the most part, he's been playing a lot better. Zeri's playing a lot better. Sharangovich is playing a lot better. the whole defense core is playing a lot better. I think they've just learned the systems a little bit better, and it's good to see because it's still boring hockey, but it's not like stab your own eyes out and force yourself
Yeah.
to drink 5 extra beers just to get through it type of.
Yeah. Speaking of
Because it
Sharon
was like
Govich,
that for the first 3 weeks.
it was ridiculously painful to watch at the beginning of the season, for sure. The only saving grace for the month of October, I think, was Devin Cooley. Like, really. Like, the product outside of the crease was abysmal, right?
Yeah. And even Wolf was bad.
Or,
And he's been a
yeah,
lot better lately, but he was bad.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wolf was bad. Coronado started out piss poor. Zari, like, then we got some
Sharon Govich.
injuries.
Sharon Govich is what I was talking about when I said not engaged. Like you said that you didn't think
Yeah,
Uyghur was engaged. When I thought he was, Sharon Govich wasn't engaged back like at the beginning of the season. He wasn't
yeah. He sure
hitting
is
or
now.
engaging in battles or getting 2 pucks or anything, and he has been lately. I've noticed it quite a bit. I don't know if you have or
Yeah.
not, but I've noticed him
I
really getting in there and digging and making plays because of it. He's
mhm.
not the best at it, but just being there and trying to do it helps a lot. And he's been producing
I
a little bit as a product of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously you're going to get rewarded with extra effort, and he's putting in a lot of effort. He's not afraid to go into the corners. He's not afraid to get creative, which is something that I'm seeing, especially in the last 2 weeks. It is, he's skating faster, he's skating harder, and he's, not only going north south, he's east and west right now too, and just trying to make plays and make things happen and mix it up, which is cool to see. Like it's certainly not how he kind of had his rise of fame in Calgary with his first year here with all the goals and the shots, because that was cool too. But if the shots aren't going in, you got to find another way to be productive and be an asset on the ice. And he seems to be doing that right now, which is good.
And I think a lot of players need to realize too that when that stuff, the shots and goals and assists and stuff aren't going well, that's what you have to do. You dig in, you play like Coleman plays and like Farabee plays a little bit, right? Like you get in
Yeah.
there and you try and make something happen, even if you're not in your usual one-timer spot or whatever. The puck gets free
Hmm.
and you get a bounce, and then you start feeling better, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the same with Zary. Like he scored a couple goals, and ever since then he's been carrying the puck around with confidence and skating a little bit faster, and
Yeah.
it's nice to see that some of these players are coming around, and
Mhm.
you know
Yeah. I agree. And speaking of Farabee, I know I've had my criticisms of him in the past. These last couple of games, he's kind of starting to grow on me a bit. I still find him to be clumsy, but he doesn't. He's not a. He's not afraid of any situation. Like, he really isn't. He
he
takes a
engages
freaking
in
beating
everything.
out there. What's that? Sorry.
He engages in everything,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
or he tries
It's
to,
just.
and that's why I was comparing him to Coleman a couple
Mhm.
episodes ago. Is not because he's as good at it as Coleman is, because he's not, but both of those guys engage in everything, in every situation that they can
Mhm.
engage in, they're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the last game there, he really, really took a beating on a few plays there.
Got knocked over.
He's on. Yeah. I mean, and yeah, he got abused a few times, and you could tell he's in some serious pain on the bench. But he's a gamer. I'll give him
Mhm.
that. He's a gamer. I mean, if he could up his skill set, he would actually be a pretty solid player.
Yeah.
Speaking of
No, I
getting
agree.
abused, what do you think of Coleman taking two sticks to the face and 0 calls last night? What the hell?
The
Why
the the
weren't you right in
one
front of the refs?
wasn't the one of them, or no, that's right. He didn't get the call. and it should have been a double minor. I remember, and he was livid about that. It was pretty blatant too. Yeah, no, I mean, I obviously I would have rather got the power play, but also watching the Flames power play is like banging your head against a brick wall. So
yeah,
I didn't really want the
I
power
think we have
play.
a better chance. We have a better chance 5-on-5, I think, right? But
Yeah, and that's one of the problems. And we've talked about this. I'm not even kidding. We've talked about this since we started this podcast, and you and I have talked about this for years before that. But why is it that multiple coaching staffs, multiple power play coaches, multiple systems, multiple different personnel on the team, players on the team, and the plan is still every single zone entry, you gotta do this big wide turnaround that's obvious as shit. Turn around, pass it back to the guy who's slow and skating forwards, and then all four guys stop at the blue line, kill all their forward momentum, kill any plays that the guy who's carrying the puck could possibly do, and then just the puck gets turned over. I don't get it. Like, the whole thing to me is when you're trying to carry the puck over the line with speed, it's multiple people going over the line with speed. That way you can make a play, not four guys with no forward momentum whatsoever and one guy skating into three opponents.
Yeah, maybe half the time give that method a shot where you have at least three guys skating past the line aggressively as you dump it into the corner and you go get the puck and then you set up. At least make the other team think that there's another option. Right. Maybe I'm going to say it here, and you're hearing it here first, I'm sure. Murray Edwards wrote up a power play scheme in 98. It hasn't quite worked, but he just thinks if the team keeps practicing it, it will come to play. It'll become a very effective system. I don't think it's going to work, but I think that's what it is. He's legit the only common denominator in this whole scenario is Murray Edwards. It's got to be Murray.
I mean, Conroy's been a part of it for 20 some odd years.
Good point. God damn it, Connie.
But fucking 30
surely he's up at the press box going, no, they're fucking it up. And what really scares me about that whole situation is the guy that's slow to come up and get the puck and bring it in to the wall, the north wall, we'll call it. There's nobody behind them, so it's just like one oops away from an odd man rush or a 2-man breakaway, shorthanded.
And like other teams do it, but other teams do it like 15-20% of the time. We do it like 95% of the time.
Yeah.
I've said this for years, man, and I'm sorry that I'm saying it again, but you have to have multiple different strategies to carry the puck in the zone on the power play. Otherwise, every opposing team is going to know exactly what's happening, and they're going to stand up all those guys at the zone, and it's going to be so easy for them. It's so easy. And you see all of the other team getting in position before our guys are even stopped at the blue line. Like, they already know what's happening.
Yeah. As soon as the puck is behind our net, they're getting ready. They're just standing at the line, just like, all right, come on. Come on. But I honestly think that you're incorrect, Dylan. I think if you just keep practicing it over and over and over again until you perfect it, and then it becomes deadly. But they're just not there yet. They need to practice it a bit more. I think come March and April, this is the squad that's going to get it done. Unfortunately, a bunch of those guys aren't going to be here. So they'll probably have to reset and start practicing again in the 26-27 season, though. So there's that.
You know how I know you're full of shit?
Because my mouth is moving?
Yes. I was going to say because you're talking. Yeah. No. I mean, practice makes perfect, but practicing something that doesn't work, even when it's been practiced, doesn't make perfect.
The definition of insanity.
Yeah. Anyways, I want to ask you about this. So
Yeah.
Michael Backlund has been playing through something. He blocked a shot um, on the inside. He actually blocked one of our shots on net. He was, I don't know if you managed to see that in the Seattle game last night, but he kind of was standing in front of the net trying to screen the goalie, and he got a puck off the inside of the leg. And then I guess I've not been really watching the after the game stuff lately,
Yeah.
because it's all cliches and it's all the same and it's stupid. But apparently some people were telling me that there was a bunch of like his whole leg is bandaged up. So like, but he's been
That's not
effective.
surprising.
But he's been effective. But we're also kind of trying to get younger and trying to give some young guys some opportunities. So, like, should we play him? He's the captain.
He's the captain.
You and I are fans of the player, right?
He clearly spent too much time playing with Monahan, right?
What's that?
He clearly spent way too much time playing with Monahan.
Yeah. I mean, that's different.
I mean,
because Monahan wasn't effective at all. He was awful.
True. Yeah. You know, after that puck in the inner thigh that he took last night, you could, I mean, obviously he's in considerable pain. And there was something going on before he got that shot too. It's clear. As far as him being effective, because they were talking about it so much in the broadcast last night, I paid really close attention to his movement. And yes, he was getting results, but he was not getting into the play. Like, he was stabbing it at pucks from a distance. You could tell that, like, he doesn't have the leg strength, or doesn't think he has the leg strength to get in there and
Wasn't bodying guys.
muck it up, and was not bodying guys at all after that shot in the leg. But you're right, like, he was getting results, which is interesting, right? Like, he got that, it was a pretty nice goal, actually.
Yeah. And he's been getting
and
it's interesting it's his leg, because he's been getting like 2-on-1s and breakaways and stuff. Like, not that he scores on them often because he's Backlund, but he's been getting them, which means that he can skate.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, it's an interesting thing, because I mean, I say, it's a leg thing, but we don't know if it's a leg thing. I assume it's a leg thing. He's never really been that effective at skating. He's not the fastest guy on the ice or anything like that, and that's certainly not where he's made his name, is being, the guy streaking up the ice, except for on the penalty kill. But yeah, I mean, I there's no reason for him to be out there just injuring himself more.
That's how I feel.
Just, like, at the very least, sit out 3 games.
Yeah, give yourself
and reassess, like, especially if he wants to, play another, 2 years, right? Like, why do it now? Like, just ease up. Like, I get it. I mean, and you want your captain to be that guy, right? Leading by example and all that fun stuff, but there has to come a time where it doesn't benefit yourself, doesn't benefit the team. It stunts growth as far as young guys coming up. So, to me, as far as being a captain, those are the decisions you have to make, to be like, hey, I'm not helping. Which, again, I say that I'm not helping, but we both literally just said that he has been getting results. But I mean, it's going to come to a head, I think.
So it's interesting you bring up Monahan, because I talk about this all the time. But Monahan, what happened with him is the injuries piled up, and none of them were injuries that he should have played through. Right now, if Backlund got a bruised leg, whatever, we don't know what it is.
It happens.
If it's a torn hamstring, yeah, fucking sit out. We don't
Just
know
sit
what
out.
it is. That's the thing, right? Monahan had double hip surgery. It wasn't replacement. I can't remember what it's called, but the same thing Tyler Seguin had and was out for a year and a half with, right? Like, and Monahan was basically out for the majority of a year and then sucked for another year before he started playing well again.
Mhm.
And not only that, but he couldn't pivot. He's a center, and he also had wrist surgeries. He's a center that scores. He's a scoring center. His wrists and
Scoring
hips
center
takes right.
takes
He
draws.
was useless. He was a fourth line center that should have
Yeah.
been a first line center if you just gave him the time to fucking heal up. With
Yeah.
Backlund, he's still doing generally most of the stuff that he's known for, and he's doing it pretty well. He might not be bodying guys much. He's not really a bodyer usually, but he uses his body position well.
Mhm.
I'll watch a little bit closer because you were saying he was kind of lunging at pucks a little bit, so I'll watch
Yeah.
that a little bit closer next game if he's in. But my whole thing is, and I know you can't ever expect Ryan Huska or Michael Backlund to accept that we're in a rebuild,
Right.
right? You can't expect the captain of the team to be like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter if we lose, I'm just going to sit out. You can't expect the coach to be like, yeah, you got to, I'm going to healthy scratch you a couple games so you can heal up, to the captain of the team, because it doesn't matter if you win or lose. That sets a really bad, as much as you and I want Conroy to make pragmatic moves to make the team worse so we
Yeah.
can get a higher draft pick, you can't expect those guys to do that. So
Yeah,
should
you're right.
Michael
It's
Backlund sit out? If it gets much worse, probably, but probably not. If it's the same as it was last game against Seattle, should be fine, in my opinion.
I mean, obviously, it should be fine for sure. Like, that's the thing, right? Only Backlund knows whether he should be sitting out or not. But I mean, like, he did get 2 goals, you know, last night. Obviously, one was an empty net, and I think the first one was before the shot in the leg. But still, um, I mean, he was still effective. Like I said, he was just, you could tell he was going at it fairly gingerly and whatnot. And as the captain, you want him to set the president that they're fighters and blah blah blah, right? They're hockey players. They're not soccer players. They're not basketball players. They're tough. But I think for the betterment of the team, and I don't. I mean, obviously, we're going to be, no matter who we bring in, we're not going to be as good on the penalty kill, as good at taking draws in our own zone, playing against top lines, for a couple of games when he's not around. But there's no better way to get somebody to learn, right? Like, keep the same line mates, right? Keep Zari and Coleman with whoever you put at center, and get whoever comes in. They should learn from Coleman anyways, right? I mean, that's, we might as well use Coleman while we still have him for
So
for that veteran presence. Teach him how to play
I
hockey the right way.
I agree with that in theory,
Mhm.
but the thing is center is the only real position we don't have down there. Like, we have Karens who can play center, but he hasn't really
Yeah,
much. We've got Morton, who's 26, I think. We've
yeah,
got Clark
yeah.
Bishop.
But is he?
We
Yeah,
like
yeah, you're right.
that's the thing. If you bring those guys up, it would be great to get Morton in there and train him to be like Backlund, because he kind of projects out to be that style of player. But
Right.
um Karens would be a good shout, maybe. Or maybe what you do is you bring up Gradine and you move Zeri back over to center. Or maybe I agree with you now that I would like him on the wing, but if it means bringing Gradine up for 3, 4, 5 games, fucking
Mhm.
do it.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, it's not going to be a bad thing to get Gradine back into the lineup. Like honestly, like he showed well, especially in preseason. But I mean, he showed well, and I think why not? You know, I think well, what did didn't they just call up
Kirkland.
Kirkland? Yeah, fuck. So,
But here's
so
my take on that. You want my take on that?
I would, yeah, I do.
Okay. Dryden Hunt has been up for like a month and a half. He played 2
Yeah.
games.
Right.
They sent him down. They brought Kirkland up. He's going to be up for a month and play 2 games.
Mhm.
I'd rather that than Gradine up and playing 2 games in a month.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. Now, if they start playing Kirkland every game or 2 for a stretch, I'll be kind of annoyed.
Right.
But
Speaking of
also,
Hunt, where's he now? Like he wasn't claimed, right?
no,
Hmm.
he's technically on the Wranglers roster right now.
Well, he can be a lifer there. Because I mean, he's what, like 28? How old is he?
I think he's 28, 29-ish. But that's the thing.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that you want on your NHL roster sitting there not playing for, the Hunts and the Kirklands and the Ferks, even though he's on an AHL deal. But, those are the types of guys that you want on your NHL roster as the 13th forward, not really ever playing. But
Right.
when somebody's injured and you actually have to put somebody in long term, that's when you call up the Gradines or the Stromgren. Even it'd be interesting to see what he's got. A couple of those other guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Agreed.
I don't think we're gonna have to worry about it because I think Backlund's gonna be fine. I don't. If he goes down the tunnel once or twice, I might be like, okay, maybe time to sit. But he hasn't gone down the tunnel. He was wincing on the bench.
Yeah.
Worried about Backlund.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't take him long to get a cortisone shot, once he goes down the tunnel, right? He'll be back. And he's tough. He's a veteran. He gets it. He knows. It's fine.
Well, we've got a holiday freeze starting tonight, I believe. So there will be no trades. There was just, I think, the last trade of the day, which is, I believe, Phil Deneau went to the Canadians for a second, which is whatever. I don't think that affects us whatsoever. Except maybe that might open up the Kings trying to trade for Kadri, which would be interesting. I never thought of that. But I still don't think we're going to trade Kadri this year. As much as you and I both know, and don't get me wrong, he's had a couple of really good games lately. As much as you and I aren't big fans of him, it's not even about that. It's about making proactive moves to speed the rebuild up, the rebiggle, whatever. And and like keeping Kadri around isn't helping the rebiggle. It's stunting it.
It isn't.
So
the rebiggle could use, at least one of LA's first round picks, because they've got 3 of them in the next 3 years. So,
exactly.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's a viable trading partner.
Yeah, and they've got a couple of nice young pieces too in the system, I believe. And yeah, I don't know. Like I said, there's a roster freeze, so we probably don't have a whole bunch of trading stuff to talk about right now. Plus, we're gonna do a mock trade episode coming up here in a few days, so that should be fun. But yeah, the Flames have this problem, and they've had it for a really long time, where they don't trade players unless they are expiring. locker room problem or requested a trade.
Right.
And that's what's stunting the rebuild, whatever you want to call it, right now. Is Andersson is probably only not traded because he's still unsure if he wants to sign. Now, I don't. I think they're still going to do that because they have Brustevich and Perek and Muse, and that's the one area in the system that the Flames actually have depth at for the foreseeable future.
Right.
So at right defense, all those guys are right-handed defenders. So it just makes sense to move on from Rasmus Andersson. I think Coleman, I heard today on the radio, Frank Saravalli was saying that 20 teams have called, yeah, about Coleman. And he thinks that the Flames are going to get a couple of offers that are going to be really hard to say no to. I think I still am not sold they're going to trade him until next offseason, but they might. But with Kadri, I just can't see it. As much as I'd like to see it, I just can't see it.
Yeah. Coleman would be such a valuable chip for any contender right now. Like, just like, I honestly think if you're already a contender, Coleman is the type of guy that is going to get you over the hump.
I agree.
Like now is the time. Like, why wait it? Why wait any time? It
Yeah.
really is, especially if they have that much interest in the player. Like, use that as the sign. You have to have proper asset management. Like, fuck. Like, how could you possibly not pull the trigger?
If you're getting a good, if you're getting a good deal, you absolutely have to. I'm just not sold that they're going to.
Well, that's and I agree. I'm not sold on that either.
Like,
And
I
that
know they're going to
sucks
get the
garbage,
offer. I'm
right?
just not sold they're going to do it.
And if that's truly accurate, where they've had roughly 20 teams calling, at least 4 of those are going to be like, yeah, we got to do this. Like, at that point, it's not a matter of do we do it; it's which one do we want to do, which puts the Flames in a better situation for the 27-28 season or the 28-29 season.
Yeah. And I was I was reading some rumors about apparently Steve Staios from the Ottawa Senators, the GM for the Senators, has been calling Conroy about some of the pieces we have. The problem
Mhm.
is they don't have very many young pieces. They're kind of like that they'd be willing to trade because they're in the part of their rebuild where they've graduated all those guys they drafted, like pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
And now they're all on, like, contributing on the NHL roster, which is great for them. But I was looking
Mhm.
at their roster and like they don't really have anybody worth talking about in their bottom 6. They have like Ridley Grieg, Lars Eller. Like that is a
Yeah.
team, Nick Cousins, like that's a team that could use a Blake Coleman.
Yeah.
And if they come with a first round pick for next year, I just pull that trigger
Yeah.
straight up.
You have to.
I would.
You have to.
I'm such a
Yeah.
big Coleman fan, but
Yeah. Like, he will teach a team that is, trying to come, like, obviously we're the first phase, right? We're trying to get picks, trying to draft capital and be proactive there. At least
yeah,
that's what the fan base thinks
yeah,
we're doing. We don't know if that's truly the case. Um, but
it's
if you're a team that's kind of okay, you're progressing to the next level where the guys you've drafted are starting to become NHLers. Now you need somebody there that needs to teach these these young guys how to be actual NHLers, right? How to play 200 feet of hockey, how to be gritty, how to be intelligent and smart, and know when to be stupid and know when to be correct, and shit like that, and just how to be a professional. And Blake Coleman can honestly teach most people on and off the ice how to be a human being, how to be a hockey player. Like it just
With
makes sense.
class, how to handle
Like
themselves with class on and off the ice. And
100%.
he literally has already done it with a Kachuk. So
Right.
let's do it with the other one.
Yeah. 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 I didn't even think about Ottawa. That's an interesting piece.
That's grasping at straws for me a little bit. But
Yeah. Or
either
even,
way, like
like we were just in San Jose, and I mean, obviously, they didn't look like they needed any pieces to move forward because they sure looked really good against us. At least Celebrini did. How fucking good is that kid?
it's something special, man.
It
Something
really is.
really fucking special.
He could use a Blake Coleman to just teach him how to be a man, I mean, he's learning how to be a hockey player. He's a hell of a
He's
hockey
already the
player.
only man on that team, but
Fair. Fair.
at 19. But no, he's
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. The kid's a stud. Like,
When you watch when you do a road trip or a couple of road trips and you go to Chicago and you go to and see Bedard and you go to San Jose and you see Celebrini and you go to Anaheim and you see Leo Carlson and you go to wherever else and see whatever else great young player there is. It's just like, how does Don Maloney think that drafting in the top 3 is some fantasy land? It's not. Why does he say stupid shit like it's not fantasy hockey? That's what he said. It's all fantasy hockey. It's like, no, man. It's like how teams do good is by drafting high. It's just how it fucking works. It's how the league is designed.
In the span of was like 3 weeks, we went into Chicago and watched Bedard, like
Destroy
literally
it.
one player handed us our ass.
Yeah.
Right. Number one pick. And then, 3 weeks later we roll into San Jose. Celebrini handed us our ass. One fucking player. But yeah, you know what? It's probably not a good idea to try and draft, first or second overall. There's no sense in getting a player like that. That would be fucking stupid. You know what? You know what this team needs? 10th place for another 2 fucking decades.
No, they need more Kadris.
No, they don't.
Well, that's what Don
We don't
Maloney.
even need this Kadri. It doesn't fit in. I mean, you and I know. But fuck, it's so frustrating.
95% of the fan base knows, and the 5% that doesn't know thinks that we do need more Kadris, and thinks that Wolf sucks, and thinks that we should trade Wolf and promote Cooley.
There's certain people that we need more Kadri, and Wolf is the answer. If we just had more Kadris, we could get there with Kadri and Wolf. That's it.
Yeah. Resign or extend Andersson. Make sure Backlund's here until he's 42.
No, actually, this same individual thinks that Backlund has always been a terrible hockey player because, I mean, he knows hockey.
That guy.
Because we only talk about stats.
We talked about stats today?
Because Backlund has never been very good at stats, and we both have been huge Backlund fans for ever. Anyways,
well, man, the game isn't played on paper though, so. Anyways,
it's played on the ice, my friend.
Yeah,
and I'm watching it every fucking game.
Yeah. Anyways, I feel, I don't know about you, but I feel that the Calgary Flames are right on the cusp of another losing streak, not because they're playing awful, but just because they're not a very good team.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I feel like they're in Andersson trade away from staying in the bottom 3 for the rest of the season. I think that's going to happen. I'm really worried about next season. I'm not worried about this season. I think we're going to be a bottom 3, bottom 5 team this season. And there are 4 top quality offensive forwards, including
Right.
1 or 2 centers in this draft. I think we'll be fine. What I'm worried about is next season that we start off hot, or we have a winning streak at some point, and ownership is like, hey, Conroy, you gotta go and sign a bunch of guys in free agency, or you gotta go trade some of those first round picks you got for a 30-year-old, or just
Right.
kind of bring all of the hype back down.
It,
I think we'll be fine
it
this
would
year.
be disappointing. It'll be disappointing when it happens, and if it happens. We just we need 2 years of drafting well and in the right spots. 2 years.
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't have to
Not,
be 5, 6, 7, 8 years of it.
no.
2 or 3 is fine. And we already have a pretty decent 9th overall pick. Gradine looks like he was picked about 20 spots too late.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and if you can pick those diamond in the rough, great. I mean, obviously everybody knows the story about Gaudreau, right? But yeah, I'm not saying we don't need 5 years worth of. I'm just saying 2 years worth of top 3. And then in the third year, if we're picking 6th, fine, so be it, right?
10th even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're naturally progressing as an organization. You're getting better. You're drafting properly, and then once you get into the drafting 10 to 15, then you start thinking about what we need to get over the hump. Then you start signing players. Then you start thinking about how to build or how to fill in the gaps that you weren't quite able to draft.
Do the Travis Hamonic, Dougie Hamilton thing.
No. For fuck's sake. God damn it. 2 first for it's so funny. Like, obviously he was playing the other night, and I'm just like, I totally thought he had retired. And I said, this is Travis Hamonic. I'm like, well, goddamn, look at him.
It's
That's worth a
funny
couple of
because
firsts right there.
I've watched like 5 or 6 Wings games this year. I've
Right.
noticed him twice. Both times
Right.
he's been in the box.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, he's a great human being, but what a waste of picks that was.
And honestly, like, I don't know if you remember this, but I remember him getting a lot of hate for taking time off to go be with his daughter because she was super sick or something. And
He had that heart condition or something.
Why? Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
why are
horseshit.
you guys like, half the fan base was like on his case about, you're making millions of dollars. It's like, your daughter isn't. Your daughter's not
your family
worth.
comes first.
Yeah, daughter's worth a lot more than the money you can make in life. So, anyways, that's
I remember that now.
Let's talk about one last thing before we go.
Okay.
So for the past few games, we've had Hunter Brstevich back in.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like he's playing pretty well on a pair with Hanley. Jake Bean's out with surgery, going to be out long term. So it seems like Brstevich, at least until Parekh comes back from the World Juniors, and maybe even longer than that, has a spot. He looks like he belongs, in my opinion. He's making confident plays with the puck. I remember the first game he was back, he like walked the line and made a move around a player, and kind of like, it's not hard to explain. I just explained it, but it's one of those things I was just like, that there's the creative play that led to good puck movement that this team is sorely missing. And Hanley's steady back there. Brstavich hasn't even been bad defensively, in my opinion. I think he's
No,
been
he
pretty
hasn't.
good defensively.
Mhm.
He's got a man body now. And I think that he might be here to stay. Like, I'm really impressed with the way he's been playing. I'd like to see him on
Yeah.
the power play, but I've been really impressed with his poise more than anything else. And the poise is what Perek was missing,
Right.
as well as the man body. But yeah,
And defensive ability. Brashevich is definitely better defensively than Perek.
he's also
He's
2 or 3 years older than Perek
yeah,
and
yeah.
played a year and a half of pro already.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think he's fit in quite well. Um, I've noticed him a few times being pretty creative on the blue line, like in the offensive zone. Um, whether it's a quick step to get a puck to the net or or moving side to side to keep the play going and continuing on. I would love to see him get some time on the power play as well because I think he I mean ultimately I think that where the Flames will be in 2 years, 3 years, where Perek is likely quarterbacking power play one, having a Bruce Devich that can do the same on power play two would be a pretty decent combo. Because I do think he has that kind of creativity and that ability. I
Mhm,
think he's going to end up being more suited defensively, but I think he's going to be like a very well-rounded, right?
mhm,
I think he's going to be he'll end up being 60% defense, 40% offense. I think is where he'll end up being where, like a Perek will be like a 70-30 or,
mhm.
maybe even 75-25.
Yeah, which is fine. That's fine.
100%.
And
Yeah.
honestly, having those 2 as your top 2 right-handed defensemen,
Mhm.
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's totally good with me, you know?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, remains to be seen what Perek is. You were joking around off camera earlier that he was a bust. I'm pretty sure you were joking because he's 19, but
Yeah.
I'm I still think he's gonna be better defensively than I expected him to be, but not the best. But I think he's got that offensive pop, and we're going to see it at the
Yeah.
World Juniors. But yeah, he's got that offensive pop that's going to make him a power play one quarterback and a on the ice down a goal guy. You know, he's going to be relied upon when we need to score all the time, and he's going to do good at
Right.
it. It's just going to take a couple years because he's fucking 19.
It's going to take some time for sure. And yeah, I'm looking at cap wages there because I was under the impression that he was still technically on IR, but they're not listing him as being on IR, so maybe they pulled him off. So I was trying to figure out how he's still on IR and practicing for World Junior. I just thought that was an interesting. Thought it was a very Vegas thing that the Flames were doing there. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no. Well, and but also, the Flames don't need is to bury any cap space, so they wouldn't be doing anything like that. I don't think.
Yeah.
But um, quickly on the World Juniors, I think today they had Reshny on the wing, but but for the most part he's been up the middle, and he's been up the middle on power play one the whole time.
Right.
Um, Reshny has had lots of praise from the coaching staff. He's had lots of praise from Gavin McKenna. He's A lot of people are talking about how creative this kid is, and
Yes.
the fact that he's been for the most part at center over. I mean, 3/4 of that roster up front are natural centers. So the fact
Natural
that
centers. Yeah.
he's been a center over most of those guys is pretty impressive.
Yeah. It's a
Um,
good sign.
and it's a good sign. So hopefully he can continue that. and go back to college after the World Juniors, after a gold medal. And I'm more excited for the World Juniors than I've been in years, honestly. And it's partially because of that. It's also because my schedule might allow me to actually watch some this year. But
I actually took off the week between Christmas and New Year's. My son and his girlfriend and two sons are coming for that time, and I'm excited because one of the sons, he plays hockey in Sudbury, and he's super pumped for the juniors, and so I'm excited to watch it with him. I hopefully he's not watching, but I've got a new Team Canada jersey for him to open up on the 25th. So we'll sit and watch those. So it's going to be exciting. I'm really excited for this tournament. Actually, I think it's going to be fun.
nice.
I think we have
That should be
actual
good.
vested interest this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Well, besides that, I think that's all we got for today. Like I said earlier, I'm going to do a mock trade. I know a bunch of people online on Reddit and Facebook and stuff like that had posted some of their mock trades they wanted us to break down. So I think I'll probably try and invite somebody on, and we'll get that done in the next couple days. But it's nice to be back. It's been a couple weeks, so it's nice to be talking hockey with Chris again. Hopefully we got some people watching, and make sure you like and subscribe, share us with your friends, comment how you think the Flames are doing in the comment section down below. And yeah, go Flames go. Make sure you check out Chris on X at Armchair GM _pod, and chat with me on Reddit or on Facebook.
Nova says hi. Go Flames.
Go Flames.
Cheers.